Big ideas.
And so, as usual, my ideas align with what Barb just said. The first topic I wanted to talk about was human the human connection, human interoperability. So I'm in Canada right now. I gave a keynote yesterday at a geospatial leadership conference in Canada, and I talked about when many of us talk about um, with data and technology, when we're addressing these complex problems that need to bring data sources together to draw information from different sources, different sectors, different disciplines, this is what we typically call interoperability, the ability to join up or merge data without losing meaning or context. When people talk about interoperability, they almost exclusively mean technical interoperability. So data meaning, structure, file formats, etc. But what about the people behind the data? People are engaged at every step in the data value chain in collecting, analyzing, interpreting, and using data. And in many cases, people themselves are data points. So all of these people, particularly young people, they bring some energy, perspectives, their own values, world views, regional views, local views. So if we want all of the data and tools to work together, we need people to work together. And so that's what I describe as human interoperability. And I think that's very similar to the sort of the connectivity that Barb talks about. I think what I would add is that we want to have social scientists involved in a lot of these discussions and things we're doing. The second thing, I had three things. I had human interoperability, the CEOS Youth Summit, and Digital Earth Africa. The second thing is, so I run a company called Rezo Consulting, and through Rezo, I have a 2-year contract as the chief exec of the Committee on Earth Observation Satellites, CEOS, which is more than 60 space agencies and partners working together on a number of goals. So one of those goals is to optimize the benefits of space-based Earth observation. The second one is to serve as a focal point for the international coordination of space-based Earth observation activities. So this is hundreds of satellites and missions which are linked to many of the areas you're discussing: agriculture, biodiversity, climate disasters, energy, urban environment. And then to encourage complementarity and compatibility across the civil Earth observation community. And the activities range from things like calibration and validation to capacity development and standards implementation. So this year, Canada is the chair of CEOS. And so I've been meeting with them over here in Montreal. And next year, it's the UK Space Agency. And the UK Space Agency wants to plan a youth summit. So we've started already to engage with different people from different youth communities. So that is something that I'm just opening now, because we'll be starting to speak to people over the next. We have the CEOS plenary in Montreal in late October, and from that point on, we will be building on the youth summit. And then finally, I also wanted to encourage people to look at Digital Earth Africa. I put a link for some of the resources in the chat. I was involved. Barb and I were pretty much the two of the first people involved in Digital Earth Africa. Barb then left Geo. I stayed on, and I was on the governing board for a while. So I've worked with Digital Earth Australia, Digital Earth Africa, but there's now Digital Earth Pacific, Digital Earth Americas. And yesterday I moderated a session on Digital Earth Canada. So it's becoming something that is across many different continents, and many countries are now thinking about how to build on that pioneering work that Australia led and that Africa has now cemented. So those were my 3 points. Thank you again for inviting me. And like Barb, I'll switch off my camera now.